Good morning, guys. This is Darren from Turfs Up Radio. We are getting ready to go live on Turfs Up Radio. So if you're getting ready to get in your car, make sure you download the Turfs Up Radio app on your mobile device. You don't want to be watching Turfs Up Radio on Facebook while you're driving, guys. Please do not do that. I got Rich Miller here hanging out with me in the Turfs Up Radio studios. Actually, we're both in Florida, but we're two different parts of Florida. So it's going to be kind of cool pulling this whole thing together. I hope I don't spill my coffee today, which I probably will. We're going to go on in just about 2 seconds. And I'm going to introduce our guest. It's going to be pretty cool, guys. All right, here we go.
Welcome to Turfs Up Radio, Raise the Mic. I'm Mark Roma. Let's raise the mic for another proven leader in the green industry. Here is Turfs Up Radio's own Darren Gruner.
Good morning and welcome to Turfs Up Radio's Raise the Mic. I'm your host, Darren Gruner, and I am live in the Turfs Up Radio studios in always sunny Fort Lauderdale, Florida, and I'm streaming live on Facebook. Can't do both. You got to do both. You have to do, but if you don't do both, you're going to miss so many people because there's so many people they're at home. Guys are at home today, and we understand it because we're not doing a ton. We're sitting at home. I'm actually working from home, believe it or not. I got my virtual background in the back. You can see my Turfs Up Radio logo. I got to get this thing right. And then my greenindustryevents.com logo on the back. That's right. Don't forget to check out greenindustryevents.com. People are starting to put those events back up. They're trying to gauge exactly what is going to happen, once this whole sequester quarantine thing is going to go away. But they're starting to put some webinars up. And if you want to go to a webinar, if you want to learn some stuff online, they're being posted as we speak. It's actually pretty cool. So make sure you do. But we got a very special guest today. Rich Miller signed up for Raise the Mic a few weeks ago. I'm glad you got on, and I'm glad we kept this. And this is you couldn't get away from this, Rich. I mean, we're at home. We don't have to meet in the studio. Plus, we get to show. Look, you got a beautiful background yourself. What's going on, man? How you doing?
Good, doing well. I'm on the other coast, the West Coast of Florida.
You're on the West Coast. Yeah, you're on the other coast. I used to live there.
The other coast.
It's a cool coast. I mean, if you've ever been to the West Side, the beaches are different, right? The beaches are different.
I've not been to the beach on your side of the coast yet. I'm still pretty new here.
That's right. You're from Oregon.
Yeah,
Oregon.
The
other coast of the country.
Out on the other side. Yeah, the other side of the world.
So that's cool. How long have you been in Florida?
Just almost 2 years.
Okay, 2 years. So you're kind of getting acclimated too.
Yeah, my blood's just starting to thin out.
Look, I'm wearing a heavy jacket here. It's 80 something degrees here, and I'm wearing. Our listeners know I'm cold all the time. It doesn't even matter. When they get me up north, they laugh at me. They got blankets and coats ready for me.
Right.
They're all ready to go.
Right.
But cool. So what brings you to Florida?
Well, I was operating my business up in Oregon for 15 years, and I needed a change. I wanted to go someplace warm, and the wife and I looked at several locations, and we thought that the West Coast of Florida was our best fit.
Did you have any business down here and ready to go?
No, and so what I did, after I sold my business, I just went on a search and wound up getting a job with SiteOne Landscape Supply as a business development manager, outside sales rep.
So are you doing that now?
No, I did that for a year and a half, and I got to about a year and a half into it, and it's a great company, but I was missing something, Darren. I was missing the customer interaction, the being in the dirt, creating something, putting something in the ground. I really missed that piece of the business. So go ahead.
It's hard when you have your own business. It's hard working for somebody else because you have your own mindset. Although I believe SiteOne's a great company to work for. I know a lot of the guys up in SiteOne. I know a lot of and they're a bunch of great people. I mean, they're all over the country. So they kind of do let you tailor your personality to them. But I can understand exactly how you are And, coming from that same mindset, I've tried it. I've started my own business when I was a kid and I got away from it, went back, back and forth, and I get it. I get it. So I want to know, so tell me about your business. Tell me about what your expertise are. I mean, I see Rich Miller Landscape. Hey, great name, by the way. And I talk about that. I say, what's in a name? And it's very important when you're thinking of a name, it's going to stick with you forever. And it's going to allow, and it's going to allow you to do all the things that you do. It's going to allow you to grow with your business. You might start off as a lawn guy, but don't call yourself Rich's Lawn Service, because you're stuck. Because when you do pavers and you start building houses,
Right.
You're stuck. I like this. Rich Miller's Landscape Services. I like it. So tell us about it.
Sure. Well, I did start out just mowing lawns, and that's what I did, was just me and my Toro and my Echo weed whacker from Home Depot and so forth, and that's how I started. But my business grew up there in Oregon, and by the time I got halfway through my season, I'd grown so much I'd left my regular job, but I was working at the same time, and just one thing led to another. But really, right now, where my focus is in 3 areas, and so I am a certified irrigation auditor through the IAA, certified irrigation contractor again through the IAA, and it was really I guess through my distributor at that time, and classes and the association that I belonged to helped me bring up my level as far as my irrigation knowledge and water conservation consciousness, I call it.
Well, that's good.
Yeah.
That's good that you have that background. It's that you're not just an irrigation guy, that you've gone on and gotten extenuating credits and stuff like that to really learn and understand the business.
Right. So today here in West Florida, I focus on smart irrigation. I focus on landscape lighting. Then I also became a manufacturer's rep for diatomaceous earth product for soil amending, which is connected to water conservation.
Well, that's good. That's important. I always tell people, when you're in the business, you got to understand what you're doing. You got to understand that if you're cutting lawns, you got to understand what type of lawn you're cutting and why you're cutting it. If you're doing lighting, you got to understand just not just putting light in, anybody can put a fixture in, but how to wire it and why you're wiring it the way you're wiring it. And irrigation. A lot of guys can, but listen, we're in Florida. You're going to realize this. You've been here for 2 years. It's a different animal down here. The guys that say that they're irrigation contractors down here ain't irrigation contractors. They're just not. I mean, they don't understand what they're doing. I mean, they might get it and get lucky, but when it comes to water flow and gallons per minute and understanding why they're applying the water, why they need to get that certain water at a certain head, for what? For the lawn, for the shrubs, they don't care. They'll just throw a head in anywhere, and it could be anything. Isn't that crazy?
Right.
Doesn't that drive you crazy?
I've seen some crazy things out there, anything from mixed sprays with rotors to, trying to spray the grass and the beds, and just it's crazy. It's a mismatch.
Yeah. Tell us about your family though, growing up. I want to know a little bit. We want to know a little bit about you. You're around my age. We talked about this on the phone the other day. So how long have you been in business? How long have you been in the green industry?
Well, since 2005. So I was 39 years old when I got started. I was, kind of late in life, I guess, to start a business, but I did. And in my first month, I thought I was going to die physically.
At 39, I imagine.
Yeah, it was crazy, man. So, after a year, I was in better shape working my business than I was when I was 18 years old. But no, I'm the youngest brother of 3, and 3 brothers. 3 of us. I've got one in Las Vegas and one in North Dakota. I've got two children, adult children, out in Portland, Oregon. Boy and a girl, and my boy's got a daughter, and so I'm a grandpa.
Oh geez! Oh my God!
Yeah.
I'm waiting for that to happen. I have 2 children also. My daughter's the older one. She's 5 years older than my son. But it's cool to have two, you know. I don't know if I could do 3 or 4. I don't know. But tell us about, is any of your other family in the business at all?
Absolutely not. I'm the only one. I caught the bug when I was a little kid. So our parents drove us to Disneyland in the 70s, and all the way down, I'm drawing pictures of palm trees driving all the way down. You hit Sacramento, you start seeing palm trees, right? And you get down I-5, you go over the they call it the Grapevine. You break down to the valley, and man, there's palm trees all over the place. I was nuts. And so I was nuts for palm trees for my entire, since I was about 5 years old. Yeah. And of course, the experience of Disneyland and the Disney landscape and the topiary and the mass plantings of flowers and so forth. I think it's in my DNA. And so I've always been interested in landscaping and plants and the green industry.
I gotta tell you something. I believe it's in all of our DNA. I'm just telling you. Listen, you can't tell me, and you can't name one person that walks outside and smiles when the day's beautiful, when the grass is cut fresh and clean, and the landscaping looks nice. Everybody loves to go to Disney World, and I'll tell you why. Because of the atmosphere, because of the environment. I believe It's all in us. Some of us choose to work on it and around it, and some of us choose to just enjoy it. But it's still in all of our DNA, I believe.
Yeah, I love it.
It's the truth. That's why I say when people say, well, Darren, you started a station dedicated to the green industry. Who's going to listen? I'm like, oh God, are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? Who's going to listen? Everybody, because everybody's got a piece of it, and that's what's interesting. I mean, I believe it's the largest industry in the world. I mean, it really is. I mean, there's, you have entertainment, you have music and stuff like that, but it's all intertwined. It really does, because every musician and every entertainer has a piece of property that they enjoy somehow, somewhere, some way, right? So I think it's important. But I'm so happy to get you in, and it's okay. You're a late bloomer. It's okay. We accept you because you skipped over. It just took you some time to get to where you want to be, but now you're able to bring a lot of your knowledge. You went full force, and a lot of guys take a long time to get to where you are. I did. I probably was 39 by the time I got to where you are now. Seriously, right. Because think about it. These guys cut their lawns, and then they start, okay, well, I'll start throwing some mulch for you down, Mrs. Jones, or I'll put some plants in for you, Mrs. Stevens, or I'll put some railroad ties in. Maybe I'll do some pavers and stuff like that. But it takes a while. They don't realize it. But if you went to school and you went and you got your classes and you went and got all that education that you did, you end up getting to where you are a lot quicker. I tell my kids that. Go to school, graduate with something that you really love to do, and you'll be there, and you'll get there quicker, and you'll be able to enjoy it longer. A lot of us say, well, I'll learn it on my own. Okay, do it. It's going to take you forever, but go ahead, you'll do it. Just take some extra time, right?
Right. Well, in the beginning, I treated my business like I had $1 million business when I had 2 customers, and I think that's what helped me become successful back then.
That's important. And speaking about that, I want to talk about that when we come back, because you have some significant letters behind your name. And I want to talk to you about that. And I want our listeners to, and we have Eric Jones, a turf teacher that comes on on 6 to 8 in the morning, 6 to 8 at night, right? And he's talking about he's a landscape architect, and he's talking about educating the guys that really believe they know what they're doing in the landscape field. I don't care whether they're cutting lawns or they're putting proposals together. A lot of these guys don't understand the reality of what it really takes to be professional and to get these bigger contracts to make you successful in business. You're not really in the business until you do and you know what you know, Rich Miller. And I'm going to talk to you about that. When we come back, I want to take a little bit break. It's only going to be 2 minutes, but when we come back, we got that. I want to talk a lot about your company, about who you are, how you have acquired the status that you have already. And then later on, we're going to talk about maintaining efficiency and a lot of great stuff. Firing round is also coming up later in the show, guys. A lot of you guys love the firing round. It's a lot of fun. We're going to see how he handles that. Turf Time right now is 9:12. We'll be right back. Turf Time, Turf Up Radio, your industry, your station.
Monday through Friday, 4 to 6 p.m. The Drive Home with Matt the Press Factor Martin. Tune in Monday through Friday to take your turf management program to the next level. Only on Turfs Up Radio, your industry, your station.
Hi, Scott from More Madness. Ferris allows you to experience turf care on a whole new level with soft ride stand-on mowers. With their patent-pending adjustable operator platform and suspension technology, these premium stand-on mowers from Ferris let you work faster, take on more jobs, and finish the day feeling good. Step up to a new level of comfort and productivity with the SRS Stand-On Series mower. Ferris, work hard, feel good. Go to ferrismowers.com for a dealer near you.
You're listening to Turfs Up Radio, the only radio station of its kind dedicated to the green industry. Now you can even ask Alexa to tune you in when you're home.
Hey, landscape pros, are you tired of digging through rocks and roots and breaking shovels in the process? Then it's time you checked out the GeoRipper 616. It's a landscaper's dream with the Makita 6 Series 2-cycle engine producing over 4 horsepower of raw performance. The 616 digs deep in up to 16 inches of the toughest soil. Lighting, landscape, and irrigation contractors already love this improved lightweight trencher with its ability to get in and get out faster, easier, and with less ground disturbance. And you will too. This redesigned GeoRipper 616 comes with 2 heavy-duty digging chains and a whole mess of helpful extras. To learn more about the GeoRipper and how it can help you out in the field, visit georipper.com today.
In today's ever-changing world, it's harder than ever to keep up with homeowner trends in the industry. There seems to be an app for absolutely everything, and homeowners are flocking to them for easier ways to schedule services and communicate. LawnBuddy Pro puts you back in the driver's seat of your business and allows you to communicate with your clients via your own company's companion app. You can send clients push notifications, messages, photos, and invoices, all sent directly to their phones from your company. LawnBuddy is on a mission to help you meet your company's goals. Sign up today at lawnbuddy.com.
Welcome back. Turfs Up Radio's Raise the Mic. I'm your host, Aaron Gruner. I'm live here with Rich Miller in the Turfs Up Radio studios at Always Sunny, Fort Lauderdale, Florida. Rich Miller. Let me see. Let's talk about this. I love the name. I love the letters behind. My buddy Dave Smith in New Jersey. He was an auditor, and he had, I think, every letter not in the same. You know, the auditors, they have all the letters in the back.
He had more letters after his name than his name.
In the name, his wife's name's mother's, dozens, whatever. Yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy. CLIA, comma, CIC. Explain to us what these letters are to our listeners.
Sure. CLIA stands for Certified Landscape Irrigation Auditor. And that's a nationally proctored test through the IA, the Irrigation Association.
Cool. And CIC?
Certified Irrigation Contractor, which is more of like the hands-on, physical, putting things in the ground qualifications.
How many guys out there in Florida have those letters in the back of their name?
Well, there's a quorum. Sure, there's a quorum of folks that have those. There's folks right here in Pinellas County who have a few of those. And some of them are friends of mine, but
you're being kind. Kind.
I am being kind, but there's some good folks in the industry here. There's a lot of folks that don't take the same respect to letters behind the names and these types of things.
Right. What does it mean to you to have that behind your belt? It's like when you go and you get your when you get your certification, when you get a license or you pass a test, growing up in school, you passed a grade or whatever. I mean, what does it feel like to have that under your belt? I mean, how proud are you to walk around with something like that?
Well, I don't think I'm a proud person, really. I take care of myself and feel good about myself. But at the end of the day, what it meant for me is I would win deals easier. People trusted me as the expert coming to the deal, and folks had confidence. People buy from people they like and they have confidence in, and that's what I could bring to the table.
When your clients are handing you a large sum of money, I mean, they're trusting you, right? They're not just giving it to you because you're a contractor. Well, I need you to do something for me. You want to exude that experience, that professionalism. You want to make them feel confident when they're handing you the money, and then they've left you, and you've gone on to get to gather your materials. You want to know that they're not worried about you, about when you're going to run off or do something crazy. I'm just saying that because I mean, I know what happens down here. That's why I say that. But by having this, kind of ensures them. I want you to know this. I'm a designer. I've told you this all my life. I just hired an interior designer to redo my place up in the skybox. I could do it, but I don't. I'm the guy that says, you know what, that's a little bit beyond what I really do. Let me hand it over to the professional. You know what? He's a professional designer. He's an architect. He's a guy that does this. So by having, and he has that resume like you do. He's got that resume where I trust him. I didn't even have a contract. I wrote him a big check and I said, get started and I'll see you on Monday and we'll start. I know he's going to come back because he's got that. He's just not a guy that says, hey, I can do it for you. Trust me. Right.
That's right. Well, people know when I roll up, I open my door, my truck, and I don't have all my paperwork up on the dashboard and, empty bottles of Gatorade and Monster aren't rolling out of my truck. And, they see that I'm,
who you are, guys.
Yeah, they see that I'm different, and look, that's all over the country. We're not picking on Florida, but that's all over the place.
Listen, and by the way, and our listeners understand, we're not picking on you. We did this. I did this. I was one of those guys. I was a guy that did, and I know it. I'm guilty. As much as 80% of the business of our green industry professionals do this, and we start from the beginning. We don't know that there's a lot of this education out there. That's what Turfs Up Radio is about, and that's why we're having you here, Rich Miller, on Raise the Mic to say, hey, you know what? Okay, we'll make a little fun of you guys for doing this, but we did it ourselves, so we're kind of making fun of ourselves as well. But just let's get with it. Let's try to learn a little bit more. I was on a walk yesterday with Renee, and I said to her, I said, think about all the little bit of the small, tiny little advancements that we've made over the millions of years from just making fire to now having the internet to do this. It didn't happen overnight. But it happens. You just got to make little teeny changes, and you're going to be successful.
Right. Absolutely, I completely agree. And that's what I've done all along is try to do just a little bit better next year. Next year, do something a little bit better, and just build on that.
I think that's crazy, but I have a serious question. There's a 3-letter word. It's the why, the WHY. We all have the why. We're not in business if we don't have a why. I mean, why are you doing this?
Sure.
That's the biggest question.
Sure. So 15 years ago, my why was, I had the green industry as my DNA, but I was tired of working for somebody else. And I knew I loved landscaping. But, fast forward to today, really my why is a little bit more compressed and a little bit more refined. And so really, I want to educate people. I want to educate folks and implement, a holistic approach to water conservation in the landscape. And so this holistic approach has kind of grown and blossomed into a whole new business plan for me.
Well, I want to learn from you. I mean, I do. I told you I do a lot of projects. I do 6 or 7 projects, and the only reason why I do it, not because I'm too good or whatever. I run the radio station here at Turfs Up Radio, so it takes that really takes a lot of my time. But I can't stop doing designs and building projects because it would be like cutting off my right arm. I can't do it. I have to be in the business.
Right.
But what I do is I make sure that everything that is going to be involved in that project is going to be everything that is there. Like, building a pool, doing irrigation, doing lighting, walkways, patios, kitchen. I want the whole thing, or I don't want to do it. But there's a lot of things that I don't know still. I know a little bit about irrigation. I know a lot about lighting. I know a lot about pavers. I know a little bit about irrigation. I would like to learn more so that when I have a guy on my staff that's putting together that irrigation system, I can actually have a conversation with him to explain to him what is going on, what are you doing, why are you doing it, let's make sure the result. Because I'm designing the project and I'm building a dream, and it's a dream that's not supposed to be a nightmare. It's supposed to be a dream that you can last forever. And God forbid we do the wrong thing with our water and we're not able to keep our plants alive, our grass alive, because I put the wrong system in. I'm doing my clients a disservice. How can you help people like me that want to learn and be better in what we do, and maybe even help us as far as being part of our business?
Well, I think it comes down to a qualification process and walking the property and finding out what's going in the ground and where is it going, and all these idiosyncrasies about the site conditions. When I go to an appointment, I'm probably the only contractor that pulls out any pressure gauges to find out what the current available pressure is for their water source.
You mean you don't just go down to the basement? Well, there's no basements here, but you don't just go down to the basement and find the size of the service that's coming into the house or going into the irrigation. You
right.
Don't just do that?
It got 3/4, so we're running all 3/4 and 1/2 inch. No, and then Florida is specifically more complex because all the multitude of different water sources that we use. But I guess long story short, to help you, and if you've got guys working for you, so going in the ground, less fittings is better, more zones is better, more control points with your controller is better. Coupling smart controller with soil moisture sensor is better, and I can forward you the UF study about smart controllers coupled with soil moisture sensors. It's phenomenal. But then you couple that with great soil texture, and now what do you have, Darren? You've got a super bowl of water conservation.
Yep. That all that is true, and it's a lot of people don't care about that. They want to get in and out because listen. Right. You know what drives us normally? The client drives us by them telling you cost. You have to explain to them the reason why you're doing what you're doing. More zones is more money. More zones, and so you're going to have to charge. Hey, listen, your lawn needs less water than your flowers. You can't, and if you overwater, if you're watering your flowers, your lawn on your flowers irrigation, you're going to cause damage and fungus and disease on your lawn. So you have to separate that. People don't get, you know what it is? They say, well, Mrs. Jones only wants to spend $2,500, so I'll put 2 zones in and I'll cover everything and it'll be fine. Down the road.
You know what the architects call it? The architects call it, they put letters behind it. They say VE.
What's that?
Value engineered.
Oh yeah, that's so funny.
It's a VE, yeah.
Well, that is funny. Hey, listen, I'm having a lot of fun, and I love listening to you. We're gonna learn more about this now. As we go ahead, I want to start talking to you about maintaining efficiency. Okay, and one of your standout projects I want to get with you. And what's cool, if people that have listened to Raise the Mic before, we've broken this down into a bunch of different segments, but we're actually going to push it all together because we want to give you less ad space. But we got to take care of our sponsors. We have to do that. But we'll be right back. We're going to put maintaining efficiency, standout project, and we're going to be talking about planning ahead, thinking about how you plan ahead for the future. We'll be right back. Turf Time right now is 9:27. Turf Talk Radio, your industry, your station.
You're
listening to an exclusive presentation of Raise the Mic. Be sure to stay tuned to hear more from this week's featured guest only on Turfs Up Radio, the only radio platform of its kind dedicated to covering the green industry and spotlighting the achievements of green industry professionals like you.
Hi, this is Scott with More Madness. Ferris takes care of you so you can take care of your customers. The Ferris line of ride-on spreader sprayers allows you to provide a personalized treatment for each of your clients. With stainless steel frames and granular and liquid application options, Ferris spreader sprayers let you do away with one-size-fits-all applications. Visit ferrismores.com to find a dealer near you and ask for a test ride today. Ferris, work hard, feel good.
Hey, Turfs Up Radio fans, do you know what time it is? That's right, it's time for Turfs Up Radio. Now you can catch us streaming live 24/7 with pro talk, pro tips, and pro interviews. Simply visit turfsupradio.com.
Hey, Turfs Up Radio fans, keep missing industry events but want to stay up to date on the action? Then simply download the Road Fuel Podcast by Turfs Up Radio on your mobile device. You'll hear everything you missed, including great interviews with showgoers and vendors keeping you in the know. That's the Road Fuel Podcast by Turfs Up Radio, or simply visit turfsupradio.com/Road Fuel.
Hey, it's Julie with Mower Madness. Red Max wants all their customers using the best equipment. So guess what? They want you to try it free. Just go on over to @TurfsUpRadio on Facebook and give our page a like. Then like, comment, and share the cover photo. That's it. You're in. There's a new giveaway each month, but don't miss this one. Who doesn't like free stuff? Head on over to enter today.
Hey everybody, this is Hecubus from the Nightcap. I'm just sitting here relaxing in the vault with my friends and a tasty, tasty pint. You should stop by and listen in sometime. I'm here every Monday through Friday, 8 to 10 p.m. Eastern, live only on Turfs Up Radio. Your industry, your station.
Welcome back to Turfs Up Radio's Raise the Mic. I'm here in the Turfs Up Radio studios in always sunny Fort Lauderdale, Florida, hanging out with my friend Rich Miller from Rich Miller Landscape Service, Inc. Put your name on your name. I love it. Listen, Rich, I really, it's what you do. I mean, this way you're proud of what you do. Be proud of who you are, right? Be proud of who you are and what you do. Love it. Rich, let's talk about maintaining efficiency, because a lot of us pros, it's so easy to lose track about, especially when a lot of work is coming on at the same time, right? You think, okay, well, I got a plan and this is how I'm going to do it. And it's easy to think about it if you have one or two clients call, whatever. But when you have 5, 6, 10 clients call at the same time and you're trying to do all, sometimes you ever go back and look, oh, I used to use that form to send out everybody, and I don't do it anymore. Like, why? Why do we lose track knowing that we have a good plan to maintain efficiency? How do you do that?
Oh, that's a good question. There's a couple things in that question. There's the physical of just scheduling yourself so you can go back and do regular, either monthly or twice a year or whatever the cycle is to maintain your accounts. Up north, it was, twice a year because we didn't have to operate them very much. But here, you might have to go back once a month, once every other month to make sure things are not, cattywampus. Rats chewing into the, bit into the drip line trying to drink water. All these different things happen here that happen on an ongoing basis. And since literally our systems are running all year long, we'd have to water in the wintertime here.
What kind of responsibility do you take as an irrigation contractor? Naturally, there are certain elements of a landscaper or a green industry professional. There's certain things that are naturally, you feel like you have to be responsible for. Like if you're a landscaper and you're planting trees, you got to feel like that tree's got to survive. So you're gonna be in touch with that client for a certain length of time.
Right.
When you're doing
Right.
lighting, those lights have to stay on. And if they start to flicker off and on after a month or two after you've installed them, you're going to have to stay in touch. Irrigation guys, you put the water on, it goes. What kind of responsibility do you take? What separates you?
Sure. And most people and most customers and contractors think it's put it in and forget it, set it and forget it, and you go to the next place. So I mean, obviously having the proper setup and water dynamics need to be tantamount to installing a system that's going to work and be not have problems down the road. But there really is an ongoing maintenance issue with heads settling, because we have the sandy soil and the heads will sway or sink or whatever. Putting these heads on proper swing risers that work. Everybody has their different ways of doing swing risers, but I mean, things get out of whack. It's phenomenal. You can install something and a month later, and there's things that are out of whack. It just happens out in our environment. Heads get clogged.
What kind of responsibility do you take for that?
Well,
I'm the homeowner.
okay.
You come and you install something for me. What do you do?
Sure. Well, I've got a 1-year contract with everything I install, or I mean a 1-year warranty period. Okay. But also beyond that, I'll develop an ongoing maintenance program for the client based on, their volume and specific needs. So we may go once a month. We may go every other month. We may go quarterly to do what we call wet checks and adjustments.
May I ask you? I ask everybody this because my mindset is, why not offer a lifetime warranty as long as you're hiring me to service your the project? Why limit it to a 1-year warranty? Hey, listen, we'll give you a 1-year warranty if you don't hire us. How about offering your client? You probably do. I mean, I think it makes sense. You know why? Because guess what? They're paying this way. They keep you. It's like goes in. It's like a vacuum. They have to keep you if they want that service forever.
It's kind of like going to the chiropractor. You got to keep going back. But
right.
I'm sorry, anybody's chiropractors out there. But look, we've got to maintain everything. We have to maintain everything. Needs maintenance. You can't just put in 10,000 square feet of pavers and not maintenance them over the years, and in 10 years to think, well, what do I have now? It's never been maintenance. Same thing with our irrigation systems. Now, as far as a lifetime warranty, sure, but there's a cost to that, obviously, to that lifetime warranty.
I just think you should build it in with your. I did that with my, because I told you I did that with my pavers. I do that, when I do build pavers, I give lifetime warranty. And when I was in the plant business, when I was in the service business, I would give listen, we'll do a landscape job for you, and as long as you hire me, I'll guarantee your plants that we planted plus the other plants, and we'll take it as long as because this way you keep going back. I was in business for a long time, and I never replaced a tree, ever. And I have never, and I have proof that never happened. Because I was on the property and I was looking at, you'll be on that property. Nothing's going to go wrong. Listen, I understand about parts stuff, mechanics and stuff like it might go. So that makes sense. I mean, if there's mechanics that you have no control over, from like if you bought Rainbird Control or Hunter, if they go bad and they, then you fix them. I get that. And you have to.
Or I can't guarantee a well is not going to go dry.
That's true too. Yeah, that's true. But obviously your service and making sure that all that, the stuff that you have control over anyway, that's what I mean.
Exactly.
By that. So
absolutely.
That makes a lot of sense. So speaking about your projects, I want to know, everybody's got this standout project that really got them excited about their career.
Oh man. So I guess I would have to go way back. I did a huge job for it was a maintenance customer, and just one thing led to another. They said, "Hey, Rich, we bought the property behind our house and we want to develop it." So essentially I built, I don't know how many square feet of you heard of Manor Stone, the 6x8 cement blocks, and we built walls and walls and walls. I thought I was at the Winchester House for this guy, building these walls. And I mean, that project went on for a long time, and we just kept building one thing after another, and we had a lot of specialty plants that went into that job, and it was a really nice job. And you know, I coddled that customer for many years before, you know, he trusted me to develop that piece of property. And it turned out to be a really wonderful job. But fast forward to today, so I've developed a relationship with the town of Bel Air here. Actually, my just right here in my neighborhood, and it started out as they're looking for a bid for irrigation system for one of their parks, and
that's going to be nice.
Well, it turned out great, and so I re-engineered the deal to be a smart irrigation controller with smart controls. So, for example, one of the greatest things that you can add to the system would be a flow sensor and a master valve that you can control off-site in case something catastrophic happens. So I can turn the master valve off if I'm on a cruise ship, you know, sequestered in the cabin.
Or if they piss you off, you can just make them, you know, just make it rain.
Right, exactly.
Of course, you wouldn't be able to do that. You know, we wouldn't do that.
But that has turned into other things with this the town of Bel Air. So I've done irrigation audits throughout their park system and found some efficiency irregularities that they can work on in-house. They're doing a trial of my product Access DE right now in their park system, and so we should see some results with that here shortly.
That's cool. That's good.
Yeah.
You got some good. Yeah. You got some stuff planning. We'll kind of talk about planning ahead. What do you got on the horizon? I mean, what's happening with you and your company in the future?
Well, okay. So planning ahead, you know, I've got some nice bids out for some living walls right now. One that's right up the street from me here in Clearwater. So that could turn out to be a really nice deal with some good exposure. I've bid on a living wall in the Miami area recently, and so anything that sets me apart, which is the water conservation, the living wall type of installation, I feel sets me apart, and it has a high interest in my psyche.
Right.
But right now, my focus is learning how to overcome and manage social media better, which I never had to think about it.
I was going to ask you, do you feel like that's one of your biggest challenges? I mean, you know, everybody's doing it. You know, what's your biggest challenge in your industry? Especially, listen, you just opened up a new can of worms by moving, you know, across the country, starting a business all over again in 2 years. So that's a challenge in itself. What's something on the top of your mind?
Well, it really is I guess getting slicker and polishing up my ability to promote on social media, and perhaps do 2-minute videos and post those up and those kinds of things. I've not done that in the past. I've really been reactive, which is answering the phone and people marketing to people on a conventional way.
I have a plan for you, and I'm going to help. I'm going to talk to you later on about that. I'm not going to sell you anything, because I don't do that. That's not what I do. But I'm going to help you. I have a thing, something that I want to share. I'm going to share with all of our listeners very soon. Anyway, got something very exciting. I think I was telling you a little bit about it, but I'll talk to you about that. But I don't believe, I might be wrong, and our listeners will probably just say, Darren, you're way wrong. But I know that people are on Facebook. I know there's a lot of landscapers on Facebook and Instagram and stuff like that, but I just think it's getting so flooded. And there's got to be a way that's going to just filter all that stuff out. And we're going to find out what that's about. But, I'm excited to have you on. There's so much that we could be talking about, and I want to move forward. But what's exciting here, I'm not going to drill you. We're going to get you on again. Okay. But next I'm going to drill you with the firing round, because that's our most exciting portion of the day. We're going to get you. We can go on forever. As a matter of fact, I'm going to get you, Rich. I'm going to invite you to do the weekend review with us sometime. So you'll get on, and we'll be able to learn more about you. And maybe you can call into one of our shows during the course of the week. And so our listeners can really get to understand who you are. And we like leaders like you. So it's really important. But we're going to be right back, guys. We got the firing round. This is going to be fun. You think the rich can handle it? I don't know. I think you can. Turf Stop Radio, guys. Your industry, your station. Turf time right now is 9:43. We'll be right back.
Hey, this is Julie, your host of Mower Madness. You're listening to Turf's Up Radio, the only radio station dedicated to the green industry. Be sure not to miss a new episode during the Turf's Up Radio podcast block every Monday through Friday between 2 and 4. We'll help you survive the good, the bad, and the ugly in the green industry. That's Mower Madness during the Turf's Up Radio podcast block every Monday through Friday between 2 and 4 Eastern. And remember, Turf's Up Radio, your industry, your station.
Scott with More Madness here. Aches and pains aren't trophies. They're just barriers keeping pros like you from getting the work done. You know better than anyone that this business can be backbreaking, but that's all the more reason to partner with someone who has your back. Ferris is about helping you finish strong and feel good doing it. Ferris commercial grade mowers feature patented suspension technology that allows you to mow faster and get more done while keeping you comfortable so you can feel good tomorrow. Ferris, work hard, feel good. Go to ferrismowers.com for a dealer near you.
You're listening to Turf's Up Radio, the only radio station of its kind dedicated to the green industry. Now you can even ask Alexa to tune you in when you're home.
Hey, Turf's Up Radio fans, this is Tim Fondrick with Hardscape Marketer. Are you frustrated or overwhelmed with marketing your business? If you'd like to be a local market leader, create a steady stream of new customers, and spend more time doing the things you love, we can help. We know what it's like to build a landscape business, run crews, and work with customers. If you're ready to grow your business by getting your internet marketing right, download our ultimate internet marketing cheat sheet today at hardscapemarketer.com/cheat sheet. That's hardscapemarketer.com/cheat sheet.
Coming up within 60 seconds, stay tuned for the Turf's Up Radio firing round.
Hey, landscape pros, are you tired of digging through rocks and roots and breaking shovels in the process? Then it's time you checked out the GeoRipper 616. It's a landscaper's dream with the Makita 6 Series 2-cycle engine producing over 4 horsepower of raw performance. The 616 digs deep in up to 16 inches of the toughest soil. Lighting, landscape, and irrigation contractors already love this improved lightweight trencher with its ability to get in and get out faster, easier, and with less ground disturbance. And you will too. This redesigned GeoRipper 616 comes with 2 heavy-duty digging chains and a whole mess of helpful extras. To learn more about the GeoRipper and how it can help you out in the field, visit georipper.com today.
Well, you know what that music means, don't you, partner? Yeah, that's right. You got lucky and made it to the firing round. Let me tell you how this all is going to go down so you don't mess up. I'm going to ask you some pretty simple questions, and you're going to give me some pretty clear answers, you hear? Take as much time as you need. But when you hear the bell I ring, you know that's time to wrap it up. We're going to move on to the next question. If you make it through all the questions I ask, and you survive this firing round, well, then you just might get some free stuff. So you ready, Pilgrim? Let's get started.
All right, man. Don't worry. Listen, don't be worried. And by the way, if you get past this stuff, I'm gonna send you a Turf's Up Radio hat.
Nice.
And boxers. I got some boxers for you too. All right, so don't worry about it.
Okay.
What do you do in your free time?
I like to be outdoors. I mean, in Florida, we move here. I can be outdoors almost 11 months out of the year.
That's good. Yeah, it's beautiful. That's why I moved down here, of course.
Yeah.
Who's your idol in life?
Well, I've got a deep faith, and so my idol is Jesus.
Okay, good. That's all right. What gives you the most satisfaction in life? By the way, you can't use the same answer twice, just so you know. Can't use the same answer.
Okay. Being creative and building something with my hands.
Okay, there you go. I like that.
One more thing. I forgot. I play guitar, so my music is important to me.
All right, we're gonna have to get together. I like to play. I like to dabble in the drums a little bit. We're gonna have to get together a little bit. It's gonna be good. It'll be a lot of fun. You're not too far away. All right, cool. Yeah. I'm not that good. I just like to play. Like a lot of us. If you had to describe yourself as a superhero, which superhero would it be?
Does it have to be a Marvel comic? Okay. All right. Ready?
Can't give you any hints.
The Great American Hero from the 80s TV series.
Great
Believe it or not, it's just me.
Great
Believe it or
American
not, it's
Hero.
just me.
I'm gonna tell Russell that. That's funny. There you go. I like it. Who would you say has helped you the most in your career? Who would you like to thank?
Oh, sure. Way back when I started my business, a guy by the name of Dave Monlux, who had a mowing business, and he helped me every step of the way to get started. And then of course Tom Glazner over at Ewing Education. He's phenomenal.
You're gonna have to send him this Raise the Mic, the podcast. So they know that you talked about it on the air. That's good. Tell us about a time, real quick. You got it, 30 seconds. Tell us about a time when things didn't go the way you wanted. Maybe efforts that that it fell on deaf ears. People you just wanted to tell somebody, so they just didn't listen.
Well, probably where I got triangulated with the customer and the architect and myself was one of the most challenging times that I had. We all got through it. And I had to show them where the elevations were off and run string lines and so forth. But we got through it.
That's good. Well, how do you stay focused and motivated? That's a great follow-up question, by the way.
Yeah. I try to read and meditate in the morning.
Interesting. So you don't have ADD. I do. I would never be able to meditate. I don't know. Most of us that have ADD can't. How do you convince? This is a Jeff Hesser question, by the way. Jeff, if you're listening, you're going to love this one. How do you convince someone that their efforts to make a difference in our environment are really worth it?
Well, I think this is something that's caught versus that's taught. And for example, in water conservation, look, man, the water's all connected. When you really think about it, it's all connected. Yeah, some of it comes out of the ground, some of it comes through a pipe, some of it's out of the beach, and some of it's vapor in the air. Well, look, it's all connected. We need to be careful with it.
So true. A year from now, we're celebrating what a great year it's been in the industry. What's been achieved?
Well, I think what's been achieved is that, I at least have touched one more person with the story of water conservation and best practices in the landscape, and that my business has grown a little bit.
Well, listen, we all hope that. We wish that for you too, here at Turfs Up Radio especially. You find a lottery ticket that ends up winning $10 million. What would you do with it?
The PC answers as return it to the proper authorities. The answer in my flesh is I'm going to cash that thing in, baby. What are you talking about?
You better. Oh, shoot. You did a great job, man. Thank you so much. Yeah. Hey, guys, what do you think? Do you think I should give him? You think I should give him a hat and some boxers? I think you deserve it. I think you deserve it. Hey guys, that was great. See, it was easy, Rich. It was easy. You got to encourage our listeners. You got to say, listen, get on Raise the Mic with Darren, because this is a piece of cake. Tell him.
Yeah, it's a piece of cake. Get online with Darren.
Get on the air with Darren. Listen to Turfs Up Radio 24/7. We have a 24/7 platform that is just catching on fire. It's on fire, and it's kicking, and we're having a great time. A lot of great educators, a lot of great people here at Turfs Up Radio. Rich Miller is now part of the team. You are now a contributor for Turfs Up Radio. Congratulations. Thank you very much for being on us. And I am going to give you this beautiful hat. It's like gold.
Great.
I don't have that many. And I'm going to get you some boxers. You look like a large or a medium size pair of boxers.
Yeah, medium. Yeah, medium-ish.
These boxers are found on Turfs Up Radio. You can go to turfsupradio.com/order apparel. They're the most comfortable things. I wear them all the time. I wear
nice.
them all the time, and they're great to wear outside. They don't have the hole in the front, so you're not going to lose anything.
Right.
That's good. But talk to me real quick while we have a couple of minutes. Anyway, talk to me what you're planning on. The things that you got coming up. Usually we talk about events, and we're going to be at the GIE. By the way, go to greenindustryevents.com and find us there, because we're going to be all over. We broadcast live from events all over the country. Obviously, we're not doing it now because of what's going on, but we will. And we'll be back out there. The last show we did was right before all this happened, right as this was happening at the Northeast Hardscape Expo for Brian Scanlon and those guys. They were amazing. We were able to broadcast, and we want to get you involved. We want to get all of our listeners involved. Rich, you especially.
Right.
You know, Jeff Hesser. I want you to meet Jeff Hesser because I met him. He's a VP of Turf Up Radio, but he's a lighting specialist. He works for Cast Lighting. He's one of their main reps there, and he know if it weren't for him, that company wouldn't be in business. So I say, that's my opinion. Anyway, he knows lighting better than anybody, and he understands why lighting's essential on the coast of Florida. And he needs to, and he's going to have I want him to have a conversation with you, but he's also an irrigation guy. So you guys think alike, and he's a good friend of mine, and he's very, very smart. And the girls think he's good looking. You know, so what? You know, so everybody, you know, has their own opinion. I'm just kidding. He's listening. I'm just kidding. He's a good guy. He's got a beautiful wife, Sabrina. But I want you to introduce you to him. But tell me about where you're planning, what your thoughts are, what your plans are for possibly, you know, when things get better here. What would you be doing?
Sure. Well, I mean, as far as trade shows, I'm going to be involved with the Florida Native Nursery Association. They've got a show every year. I did the show last year in West Palm. Of course, I'm going to be out at the IA show in San Antonio coming up at the end of the year. And then I'm going to try to be involved at the FNGLA show when we get a schedule on that.
Yeah, I've been talking to Billy about that. I want to get involved with that too. We were at the IA in Las Vegas this year.
I missed you. I was there.
We had such a blast. Adam Linneman is a contributor here also. He and I went down, what's the name of that street where Pawn Stars is? I can't remember. But we went to Pawn Stars. Remember that show, Pawn Stars?
Yeah.
We were on it. They just aired it like 3 weeks ago.
Did you meet Chumley? Was Chumley there?
No, we met Rick and Julio. We met a couple of people out there, and I actually have their phone number, cell phone, and we're supposed to get together, and I'm going to see if I can get them on the air. It's pretty cool. Have a lot of fun. Boy, listen, we want you to be part of Turf Up Radio because we have such a great time. We meet so many cool people. We know so many people, and we want to introduce them to you. And we want to introduce everybody to our listeners as well. So it's very important. Okay.
It's been a pleasure. Thank you so much.
Somebody wants to get a hold of you here in Florida. What would they be doing?
Well, they could pick up the phone and dial 727-272-0344, or through my website, and that is www.audith2o.com.
Oh, that's cool. Audit H2O, and you'll audit that. You'll audit their irrigation system for them.
Absolutely.
I'm going to get you to come down here. You know, I told you I'm going to introduce you to Andrew Sal. Remember I told you? He's the owner, president of Green Feeder System, the Riddle Rust. We talked about that, right?
Sure.
So we're gonna see if we can get you a unit, and we're gonna have you use their product on some of your irrigation systems as well. How's that?
Very good. Yeah, that sounds great.
All right, well, everybody, you know what time it is. Yeah, that's right. It's time to say goodbye until next week. I want to thank everybody for listening to this week's Raise the Mic with my special guest, Rich Miller from Rich Miller Landscape Services in Clearwater, Florida. If you want to find out more about him, we're going to have it posted. You're going to be able to go download the Raise the Mic podcast and listen to this, and make sure you share, because that's what sharing is caring. I hate to use that cliche, but it is. Absolutely. Listen, we had a great time with you guys. Thanks a lot for listening, and we'll see you next week. And be sure to listen to Turf Up Radio throughout the week with all the great shows that's going on. Thanks a lot for listening. Turf time right now is nothing. Thank you, man. I appreciate it. Stay green, guys. Keep your hands dirty.
Thank you for listening to this week's Turfs Up Radio Raise the Mic.